Psaki.
Thanks, Jen. I wanted to go to this New York Times report about the students from the American University in Afghanistan. The Times reported that they had been left behind and they were contacted apparently to try to get out, held in safe houses for a period of time, and then were told that the evacuation had stopped. And that separately, the university president apparently told these students and their parents that their information had been handed over to the Taliban, obviously to get them safe passage, which has not yet happened. But my question is, as this sort of draws down, don't we sort of owe a group like that, where we've given out their information, their passport numbers, their names, aren't we obligated in some way to ensure that they get onto these last flights, given the fact that the Taliban, soon after coming into Kabul, posed at the front of the university saying that this is where, the Americans trained people, and they're obviously threatened and scared by that.
Absolutely. Well, first, let me say that there have been reports that we provided, or the U.S. provided, lists of people who want to leave Afghanistan to the Taliban. That's inaccurate. That's misreported and misconstrued. We have also confirmed repeatedly that we have had to coordinate with the Taliban. And so there have been limited cases where it is possible that when buses or individuals are at a border checkpoint and they're trying to get through, in order to get them through, to evacuate them successfully, we have had to coordinate and provide details. I don't have confirmations of those events, but that is the scenario in a limited cases where that would happen. And in vast majority of cases, not aware of any that it hasn't been, those individuals have been evacuated. I understand what the president of the school said. I don't have any confirmation that that has actually happened on the ground, or any from anyone who is leading the effort on the ground. And certainly our commitment remains to American citizens, to Afghans who want to leave, like these individuals and these young people who have been courageous, to get them out of the country. And we are in touch with all of those individuals on the ground. I'd also note, and as they know, it is scary, and it is a very dangerous situation on the ground. Another attack could happen at any time, and when we give these security briefings or security warnings, or tell people to move away from the gate, it is because we also want to save them and protect them. So what we've been trying to do is work with individual cases, with families, with groups, to get them evacuated if and when we can. I'd also note our commitment is enduring. This is a very fluid and dangerous situation on the ground. I just don't have a detail on the current state of this particular case.
Thank you. And then on the drone strikes, it seems that we're witnessing these happen, with more frequency. Obviously, we have the, over-the-horizon ability to get this done if we've got the intelligence to do it. But my question is, why is it that we weren't able to use similar action to prevent the attack that happened on Thursday? And then part of that is because we now are, hearing reports of how these are being carried out. One of the drones had to fly 8 hours, I think, from UAE. Is there any concern that we're limited in our ability to respond in a timely manner if we've got 8 hours of flight time and then they can only hang out over the target for like 4 or 5 hours before they've got to turn around and go back? Is there a future sort of ongoing worry that we're going to be behind the 8 ball again?
Well, first I would say the fact that we have had 2 successful strikes confirmed by CENTCOM tells you that our over-the-horizon capacity works and is working. In terms of the specific threats, what we had with respect to the Kabul airport, we of course had been warning about for days, which was the potential for the rising threats from ISIS-K. That such an attack could take place and could take place at any moment in time. What we can do, and what our commanders on the ground do, who have access to all this information as well, is mitigate risks. We can't eliminate risk. And if we were going to continue to evacuate tens of thousands of people, American citizens, Afghans, our partners, we had to mitigate risk. We couldn't eliminate it. And that's how we proceeded. Now, the president has been clear to his military and to the commanders on the ground that force protection is of utmost concern. And I know my colleague at DOD confirmed the closure of gates earlier today. There have been steps that have been taken. And obviously, as we've gone through the retrograde process over the last couple of days, and it has been incredibly dangerous, there are steps that have had to be taken as these threats have increased.
And the last one, just on overland routes. As I understand, we're looking for other ways after our military pulls out to get people back and out. But has this been at all hampered by Putin, rejecting a U.S. effort to put counterterrorism forces or bases for drones in Central Asian countries bordering? I know Putin also in that reported June meeting spoke for China in that. Did we ever get an answer from China ourselves on their position on this?
I can't speak to these private diplomatic conversations from here, but I can tell you we have a range of partners in the region who we continue to work with and have discussions with so that we can maintain the over-the-horizon capacity. Go ahead.